Have you ever worn the same dirty socks or traveled with a certain object or played a certain song before the big day? On today's episode of FemFlex Friday, we're going to be talking about weird and bizarre rituals that athletes do before the big day. And I'm sure these ladies are going to have a couple things to share. So I'm joined here with Whitney, Lenda, and Wendy. And please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below because we want to hear what weird things you do. And also be sure to subscribe to the Olympia YouTube channel. So,
weird rituals?
Weird things.
Never.
Come on, spill the beans.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I have a lot.
Who's going first? Whitney, you go first.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure you have a lot.
I do. I mean, I feel like I should go last because I literally think mine are just a little off and bizarre.
We all
which
do,
is
but
totally
that's
my
the point.
personality.
So weird rituals with competition. You take just period.
Just period. Well, you know, I have a good clip to show you guys that might help prompt some of the juices.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see because I don't know what I should spill.
So Nico, why don't you play this first clip for the ladies?
I could have started, but I don't want to weird everyone out, so.
Most of us have some sort of superstition that makes us behave in weird ways. Maybe it's avoiding walking on cracks on the pavement, or making sure we don't break a mirror to avoid 7 years of bad luck. Or maybe it's believing that specific objects and lucky charms actually give us good luck. And the world of sports is no exception. Superstitions in sports turn up all over the place, from superstitious fans wearing lucky caps, all the way to the individual athletes themselves. In fact, athletes are considered one of the most superstitious groups of people in the world, on par with people like sailors, soldiers, miners, and gamblers. And I want to find out why.
Okay, so I totally agree. I think athletes are so superstitious.
Yeah.
So
I think for me, like rituals, as far as like when I worked out, like back in the day, like I was obsessed with working out kind of consistently in the same clothing. I would wash them.
Yeah. Thank goodness. But not everyone does
I like how you added that.
Yeah.
So what would you wear? What would you wear?
I always wore like, I had this sweat top that I would wear. And then I always loved a certain pair of stretch pants because I looked a certain way. I felt like powerful. My legs looked great in those stretch pants. So I'm going to say like working out the clothing that I wore and not exposing my body. Because back then it was like always covering up. I was always covered up because I did not want, like, I didn't want to hear like good comments. I didn't want to hear bad comments. I didn't want to hear
Save
anything.
it for the stage.
So I was obsessed. I had like my outfit, my workout outfit.
Okay,
so
I have a question for you. You have won 8 Olympia titles. Was there anything weird that you would do before the show day or the morning of because you were like, this is my ticket to winning that title?
You know what? Here's the thing. Like every single Olympia, especially I'm going to say after my like second, at night I would listen to my music from I would fall asleep. Like I had to do that. If I didn't do that, I felt like for some reason,
you weren't prepared.
Like I was going, and I know like, because it's so important, like with your routine and knowing, so I would probably spend that whole week like at night in the bed with my earphone. And if I didn't do that, then I felt uncomfortable.
Visualizing is so important.
That's a huge
my God.
part of what
Even I would just like lay in bed like you would the week before, and I would picture every footstep and like how long it would take. And so so by the time you're on stage, like you're going through the motions.
I have a tip that has helped me, and I have all my clients do it for anyone who does a routine. So obviously women's physique, bodybuilding, and fitness. And it is all about visualization because you can only practice so much in the fitness world because your body's beat up. You should know your routine, right? So as you listen to it, you can go through it all. But, and I guess even for posing too, just for like figure and bikini, lay down flat, hands under your butt so you can't have any movement. Okay. Close your eyes, play your music. It doesn't matter where you're at. You should know your routine. Like for me, if I have my song start midway and I'll just kind of hit randomly, I need to know where my routine is, what my facial is doing, where my head is, where my eyes are. But without hands, you know that you don't know your stuff if you have to use your hands to move. And,
interesting.
You know,
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's when I know I'm ready. Like when I can sit and like put my hands under my back, close my eyes, and hit the music and know where I'm at. It's amazing when you can't use hand motions. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know my routine as well as I thought I did. So for any athlete out there, try it. You'll be shocked.
Especially for the divisions that have such elaborate routines. Like
totally.
Because I know I was thinking of that with me in the bed. You know, because you're quiet and you're silent. So in a sense, it was the same thing without me using my hands. But like I would think about facial expressions. So I did, if my routine was robotic, I knew at this point I'm not smiling. And I felt that in my body and my energy. So I get it.
Well, and people pose with their hands. Everything leads with their hands. So same type thing. If you do that and you're like, okay, so now ladies, quarter turn. Where's your face? Where are your eyes? Without your hands leading you. It's a way to test.
I'm getting like this like butterfly feeling. Okay, I'm gonna take a trip down memory lane. This might make us laugh a little bit, but you were talking about your superstitious clothing. My trip down memory lane is gonna be when I was in track. Okay, so when I was in high school, the idea of having like sports bras with padding was just not a thing yet. I know it's available, but I remember I went shopping. It was at Big Five or something like that, and I found a Jane Fonda sports bra. This was, I'm not going to date myself, but I was in high school, and this was like the first time I'd ever seen. It was a Jane Fonda sports bra, and it had inserts for pads, okay? And it was multicolored. It was like just obnoxiously colored, you know? I bought this sports bra, and I think I was like maybe a junior in high school, and I wore that thing like every day. I don't know if I washed it every day, but but like I wore it every day. I wore it underneath my track singlet. And I loved it so much for multiple reasons, if you can imagine. But I wore that thing to the ground. I wore it all through college. I don't remember how many times I washed it, but that thing became like my, I don't know, like my security blanket. And then they started coming out with sports bras with pads, and I was like, look at it. Like I could have owned multiple sports bras, but that was like, and you know what? I wish I still had it, but I think I threw it away. I think unraveled.
When I was doing some research for this, actually runners and marathon runners, like it was very common for them to wear like the same dirty socks or like lucky socks. So maybe the sports bra, that makes sense. Like you felt good about it.
Connected to it. It was weird. Like it started off as something that I wanted. It made me feel confident in myself, obviously. But then it turned out to be something that like I felt like if I didn't have this sports bra, like it was, I mean, every race, every workout, everything. I mean, I wore the sports bra, I mean, every day for multiple years in a row. I mean, I don't know how, but I did. It's kind of gross.
I had the most disgusting heels that I used for years. I mean, to the point where I'd pull them out of my bag for posing practice, and especially at a show, and everyone's like, oh my God, whose heels? They were disgusting. I mean, so tarnished with tan and dingy.
But they were lucky.
But they were my good luck shoes.
Yeah.
And I remember before one Olympia, they like were falling apart.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought, my career's not done. How am I going to change these?
So you wore them on stage.
I wore them on stage. They were janky as hell.
Janky?
But I did retire them after that Olympia, and now with the Shoe Fairy shoe, they're so comfortable that I don't waste and let them just get disgusting. But I wore those for 7 solid years.
But those things are so huge, though. I mean, it makes so much sense because those really small things. It's like always when I see athletes at the last minute, like they change something, like they do something drastic. Like like if you've been wearing those shoes, like why would you like change? You know,
they're comfortable. They're broken in.
Yeah, exactly. They mold to your feet.
Yeah, and so rituals, superstitions, like that's huge.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any like weird objects or things that like you would travel with before shows?
Oh, I have a good one.
Yeah.
Someone gave me a Cabbage Patch doll. Her name is Lucinda.
Cabbage Patch. That is
her name is Lucinda.
The doll or the friend?
A doll, the baby doll. The baby doll. And I love her. And I've had her since 1991. And she goes every single show.
Okay.
No way.
I still have her. Like,
No way.
I
You have pronouns. She
Yes.
comes
and in the morning, I still like say good morning to her when I get out in and out the shower.
No way.
She's like, I would say she's my inner being. When I would cheat and I would go to the at
You don't
night,
cheat.
wake up like and you go in the refrigerator and she's like,
in
oh,
there.
really?
She's staring at you.
Yeah.
You put her in the fridge.
She would always, and she'd travel with me.
Put her in the fridge.
on the refrigerator.
is
Forget
amazing.
Elf
I
on
know,
the
I'm
shelf.
serious.
We got Cabbage Patch
I
in
have to
the
bring her on the show. Her name is Lucinda.
Yes.
She was given to me by a fan in 1991 in Chicago. She's been with me my entire time.
And you still bring her around.
I still bring her.
I love it.
Forget
She
Elf on the
travels
shelf.
with
We got
me.
Cabbage Patch on the latch.
Yes, Lucinda.
That's
wow.
But if you didn't if something happened to her, or
Don't speak like that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But you would feel probably like almost like a sense of
Yeah.
panic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's just like super special to me. She's my baby. She's my child. She's my first.
Yeah.
You know, and she's
That's cute.
And
That is
I
awesome.
always look for the fan on
my God.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Her name is Christine Renfro. She used to
Okay.
compete, and she gave me Lucinda in Chicago
No
at the
way.
Olympia. And
wow.
Lucinda was the first thing because she's a person to me. She's
Yeah.
real. Like when I moved, she was the first thing I went for.
No
First-
way.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Wow.
it.
Yep.
That's incredible. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to learn more about things that we do and more about this phenomenon within the sports. Welcome back. We've just learned about Lucinda and Lenda's child.
Yes, she's my child.
We did. Yeah, she's a mother.
Yes, I'm a mom. Very much.
That sweet little Cabbage Patch.
And Wendy, do you have a Lucinda? Or do you have something that is like you have?
Right.
Like, that's that important.
I don't have a Lucinda.
Okay.
Okay, they'll reserve that for Lenda. But I do have, so every single time I'm getting ready to compete, albeit it's like the 3 week out mark, and in my mind, it has to be at 3 weeks out, I start doing sweat baths every single night and every single morning.
Sweat bath?
Like
sweat
Epsom
bath.
salt?
I like to use Epsom salt, but even if I don't have Epsom salt, I'll do, and I'll like literally sit in there for like a few hours.
Whoa.
And I drink water and I sit there and I
Like a
watch
sauna?
my favorite like shows. I have like this little portable thing. I have like this little shelf thing that I sit in front of my, I know this is weird. We're sharing, right?
Yeah.
This is not weird.
No, it's, hey, it obviously
this
works.
is really weird. So I just will sit there for like a few hours. And now that I have I have Rocky will come in there and I'll like on top of my shelf, I'll put his bed and he'll like sit right there.
And he sweats
and hangs
too.
out with me while I do my sweat bath. Yeah.
So okay, so
I know that's kinda
explain a
weird.
little bit more. My first thought is how the F can you sit in 5 hours in a
No
sweat bath?
chance.
I go
not
crazy.
5 hours is a lot, but I've been known to do that before. But how I do it, I don't know. I'm weird. I don't know.
And what does it do
every
for
night?
you?
Okay, so every night. So basically, I'll shed like a few extra pounds of just kind of like inflammation, and I don't dehydrate myself. Like I drink plenty of fluids, but I'll drink tons of fluids and I'll like sweat out. And then when I wake up, I'm like I'm tight. I feel like the inflammation is just like out of me, and I recover faster. And then I'm usually like when I'm at like 2 weeks out, I'll do one in the morning and at night.
So you just sit
And
in
I'll
a
work.
hot bath.
I'm like, my clients don't know this, but now they do. I'm like answering my emails and like checking in.
You've
with
learned how to,
people.
like, work
I'm, like,
with it.
Sitting
Yeah.
in the bathtub, checking in with my clients.
So it's just like there's no special rest. It's an Epsom bath.
Epsom
that
bath,
You're just
no
sweating.
special rest, and I'm just like sweating out.
Does it get cold after a while?
That's a good question. I'll empty the water and I'll keep re-upping the heat. Interesting.
How much? I mean, you must have like bags and bags of Epsom salt.
I do. I like to get it from. I like to get it from Big Lots or or the dollar store.
Is it Dr. Teal's?
Dr. Teal's, yes.
Yeah, I love
Dr. Teal's, and I love they have the eucalyptus one is my favorite.
Yeah.
I like eucalyptus, and there's one that's orange. That one I like the orange. I love this. But I also have. I do have something special. I do have essential oils. I'll put like.
That sounds.
Yes,
amazing.
and I have all kinds of different essential oils. I'll use all kinds of different mixtures of essential oils.
Wow.
But I think peppermint is my favorite. It helps me clear my sinuses and just.
So do you do this like at the show, like in the hotel? Like
I do.
Randomly, because for some reason there's a tub, and if it's a really nice hotel, the tub looks really clean. I'm like, hey, I'll take a bath.
Oh yeah.
So I don't mess with any of those crazy diuretics or anything. That's my diuretic.
Okay, that's your diuretic.
Yeah.
So and it's relaxing.
And that's why I always I always Liquid Sunrays knows this. They're my sponsor, but they know I always take the very last tanning appointment, so I'll tan at like 9 o'clock at night. So I'll be in my sweat bath like throughout the day, dropping my water, and then I'll do the last tanning appointment.
Yeah, because then it would be all.
That really is my secret.
Awesome.
Well, a lot of athletes do. I would do like Epsom salt bath for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
even with that, I'm like,
Buckle up, honey.
feel a little vascular, but maybe it's just from the hot water.
Yeah. But
wow.
that is like, and it's become my go-to. It's been something that I have leaned on and relied on for getting dialed in and just getting my mind right. I think it helps me also not just to like, you just flush out the inflammation, but just knowing that it's helped me so much.
Yeah.
I've become connected to this. And then I have to actually wean myself off of it after the show because I get kind of addicted to it.
Well, it's relaxing.
And I don't want to like live forever like that. You know, I can't like do like 3-hour sweat baths every night for the rest of my life. So I have to kind of wean off of, and then I'll do it just every night instead of morning and night. And then I wean off of it every other night. I know it sounds really weird, but it gets like addicting.
So does Matt get to see you at all during prep?
Right.
He does.
They just hang out in the bathroom.
Yeah. He'll walk in and out, you know. I mean, he's like, whatever.
That's
sometimes
awesome.
I'll be like,
hey,
wow,
good
hey,
for
Pumpkin.
you.
And he'll come in and he'll talk to me, and I'm just sitting there.
Oh, hey, Pumpkin.
That's cute. Heck yeah.
What about you, Whitney? Do you have a seal or a sweat bath?
Weirder than mine?
Weird thing. I do the ice baths.
Okay.
When I'm in prep, it's hours of choreography and stuff. So it's like I leave my aerobics room walking like I'm 90 years old and need assistance. But we have an ice bath at my gym. And so,
that's awesome.
It's convenient. I go straight from the aerobics room, go shower, jump in that ice bath. So completely opposite, not relaxing. I literally have to put a towel in my mouth so I don't scream.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
There's no denying the benefits.
Yes.
So because I barely get in the ice bath, and then after 10 minutes I jump out like, let's go. So it helps for me.
Yeah.
I love Epsom baths, but I kind of have the opposite. If I do a hot Epsom bath, I kind of swell a little. Whereas the ice baths tighten me up. So at shows, I'll do the ice bath. Instead of an Epsom. But that's what works for me.
Try it for 3 hours and then get back to me. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think I could sit still for 3 hours. Let's be real.
I know.
You're doing what we see NFL players do, or like the
they have their like trough
that ice where they have to get in the ice, or the pitchers they have to like immediately go and ice them.
Well, because I used to take ice, and it's like okay, so what hurts today? Well, my ankle and my knee and my hip. Oh, and so does my shoulder.
Right.
The easiest way is an ice bath.
Have you ever tried cryotherapy? Because I do that.
I have, and I have zero. That affects me.
It doesn't help you.
Nothing.
I don't think it's probably the ice bath. Like I think it gets a lot colder. And I don't know. It just seemed like it penetrates maybe just deeper.
That's how I feel. But again, some people love cryo, and that's great. For me, I get the most benefit
more than that
from the ice bath.
Yeah.
So that's it. I do. When you were talking about wardrobe, I am such a weirdo, OCD matchy, and I'm not even joking. Especially if I'm in prep. My shaker cup better match my outfit. Or the workout is not happening. It's literally not happening.
How many cups do you have?
A lot. I mean, I literally have probably 30.
A whole cabinet.
Different shades. And I have a backup
to match
black
all your
one.
outfits?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It has to match. Or I It's so psychologically ridiculous, but my workout is pathetic.
Oh my gosh.
Because I can't stop focusing that my
So you need the shaker cups to match so you can really focus on your workout and it gives you just more oomph through your workout.
I feel like I'm put together.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's so stupid
It
and
does.
silly.
Yeah.
Because we go through so much when we're preparing for competitions.
Yeah.
Everything is so in order. It really makes sense
Yeah.
that you just want to be complete and everything's consistent, everything's flowing.
Yeah.
And I think across the board, all of us, we do the same thing. We have something like that.
Yep.
There's always, and visualizing on the plane, I watch my routine on loop wherever I'm flying to and just kind of get into it.
Yeah.
I have a playlist. I have a show day playlist. There's always one song that's my theme for that prep. And so I have a chill playlist that I listen to when I get ready in the morning and backstage, and it's very calming. I used to do the hype. And my routines, it was like I was burning through my adrenaline.
Oh, so
before
to preserve it. Interesting.
So then I save it, and then when I'm on deck, I listen to my theme song for my prep. Gets me going. So I mean,
I have a question,
definitely
like psychology-wise, okay? Because we have a lot of new athletes.
We're going to be talking about that the whole after the next commercial break. So let's hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought. Okay. Segue. But first, I have a quick video of, you guys might know who he is, Cisternino.
Yeah.
He is IFBB 212, right?
He's
retired.
He's done.
But he shares some cute little rituals that he does too.
Okay.
I'm just me, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And if people don't like it, fuck them.
I love him. He's so funny.
I think this is an older video.
I need to be more like that.
A little bit. There's always like certain clothes I bring to the shows, like tanning clothes. I have a pair of pants that Evan Centopani gave me back in 2007. They're Abercrombie & Fitch like sweatpants, and they look like they're like a 5X. I always make sure my last coat of tan, I always shower the morning of the show, which people don't usually do. I always shower and put on a last coat of tan, making sure it's fresh. I always say a prayer before I go on stage. If I have my cross and I can't wear it from at a show where my mother is, I always give it to my mom to wear. Or if there's not my mother's not there, I'll give it to a family member or friend. Because this is the only time I ever take my cross off is to go on stage because I'm not allowed to wear jewelry. So that's something I always do, make sure somebody has it around their neck. And I always have to make sure that I have coffee the morning of the show because I'll be a miserable bastard if I don't have one of these.
Really? All the liquids?
All right, so there was some cute little, but we all have them. We all have them.
I have a ritual now before we do the show.
Okay.
Oh, do you? Brain formula. I feel like if I don't take...
Wait, is it your own combination that you call brain formula, or it's called brain formula?
It's a variety of different supplements. Ginkgo biloba. And tyrosine, because I feel like I need to be quicker, fast.
Have you noticed it helping?
Does it sharpen it?
It is helping.
Oh,
I feel like it is.
Okay.
I know it is.
You seem pretty intelligent.
Sharp.
She is sharp as a whip. Actually, whips aren't sharp. I need some.
Lenda's like, you guys notice it, right?
She's like, I am ready to go, guys.
Yeah, this morning I was like, I got to get these pills in.
Okay. She is ready.
Yeah.
She is ready.
I prepared all week.
Well, we're going to get another commercial break, and then we're going to go into what Wendy was just asking about, the psychology of why we do this stuff. So don't go anywhere.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
Welcome back from that amazing commercial break. We are going to dive in a little bit into why we do this as athletes and the psychology behind it. So Nico, why don't you play that first video? There you go.
There used to be certain games, like for like certain key games. I don't think I've ever said this before. This kind of makes me seem very psychotic, but whatever. I used to play the Halloween theme song over and over and over in my headphones.
Pre-game. Seriously.
And it was important that it was Michael Myers because the mask itself was void of emotion. Void of emotion. It has
That's
nothing to do with
psychotic at the
pressure, it has
highest
nothing to do with hype, has nothing to do with camaraderie. It's stone cold killer. And I would listen to that song over and over and
What
over
is that
again.
song?
That's when you know
It's like,
you better run because
you better run.
That's what a lot of people did.
Yeah, it's
like coming out. You know,
it's gonna be a tough night.
Story.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough night.
Yep, makes sense.
I like it.
I do too.
One more, and then we can talk. But there's one more I want to go into.
Superstitions for me aren't really good habits to have for athletes. All athletes have superstitions. They're a pretty superstitious group altogether. But the problem with superstitions is that they're only based upon luck. It's something that you did in the past. You wore a lucky shirt, you won with that shirt, and you feel like you got to continue to wear that shirt over and over again. Now, in Tim's case, he had some pretty...
So, okay. It's interesting because we just heard from Kobe, and the song, maybe it was like good luck for him, but it was more of like a mental state that it got him into.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of the rituals that we do, like, we feel like it's part of our routine, and like it's like if without doing that, we don't feel complete with the process, but it gets you in a zone. And then you have the psychologist saying like, it can be just it's just luck.
I'll tell you, Kobe was one, listening to some of his sports psychology type stuff and how he prepared for games. Was where I switched from hype music to calm.
Oh.
And I got it from his strategy.
So did you listen to Halloween?
I didn't listen. I've never heard that story, but he used to say you need to be calm, cool as a cucumber. Save it for that explosion as soon as it's game time. Go, go, go. And I made that switch and it was drastically improved. And so I totally connect with that, especially because he was the one that literally switched it. And I do audiobooks, so I do through preps. Just like I have a song, I always have an audiobook that I listen to. This year, I'll let you in a secret. My book for this year's prep is David Goggins, Never Finished. I don't know if you've ever read his books, but man, Can't Hurt Me. Amazing book, but it's a prep of like getting you game ready. Whether it's through the prep, game day, 5 minutes prior, like it helps me feel like I'm ready.
So this is what the champion does, guys.
Yeah, I just want to. I honestly, like, it surprises me as a psychologist that he would be negative about this, because I feel like as a psychologist, you know more than anyone that what you believe tends to be, right? I mean, if you believe that a superstition is only based off of luck, your whole energy is going to center and focus on this is just luck. And I think there's a lot of people that have negativity that they take into competition, and that's like half the battle, right?
Totally.
If you go into a competition and you believe in your heart and soul that having your Cabbage Patch doll, Lucia?
Yeah, Lucinda.
If you believe that Lucinda is going to help you win, then every single behavior pattern surrounding the idea of winning, it will funnel you into that path. It's like the law of attraction, But if you feel like I have Lucinda and she's my lucky charm, but it's just luck. It's it's not really. I mean, the psychology of that. I mean, how much of we do something once and it works maybe by chance, right?
Yeah.
But then we decide that that's the thing that got us this victory. Well, believing deep down inside that thing that you did is what got you the victory. There's something to be said about that, and I think that with any weird superstition thing that I've ever done, I don't think that it ends up being the thing that helps me win, but because I believe it is going to help me, I know that there are certain things that I do going into my my goal or my victory that I wouldn't have done if I didn't truly believe I was going to win because of this one thing.
Yes.
Even
So
if it's placebo. Placebo works
it
in
doesn't
so
matter.
many cases.
So
let the placebo effect work.
I had a Lucinda.
Yes.
And I did. And it wasn't a doll, but it was my daughter, when she was like 6 years old, I was getting ready to go to a show. She had these pink crystals. There were these beautiful stones, and she's like, "Take these with you, Mom. They're good luck." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so sweet of her." So I took it with her. I took it with me, and I won that show. And afterwards, I was like, "Holy crap! It's like the luck of the crystals."
Yeah.
So every show after that,
You believe that.
I brought those crystals, and I would sleep with it under my pillow. And I went on a winning streak. And that was the first thing I grabbed. I've actually had turned around from the airport because I left them at home. But if I did not have those crystals, I felt like,
off.
oh shit, I'm not going to do good tomorrow. And I had to have them under my pillow. I would wake up in the middle of the night to make sure that they were there. And I always had them in a Ziploc bag so I wouldn't lose them. But to me, those things were like, it was like everything has been on check in this prep, but now it's these crystals that pull me through the night.
My boys would do like little notes I could, and I always keep them, and I would put them on display, like my little letters.
We're all so positive, but I have a question for you guys, okay? Why do you think that there are people that are so negative and such naysayers when it comes to this stuff? Because I kind of feel like, I don't know if that guy was a sports psychologist, but there are people who they naysay things, and it's like we don't need to believe. It's not like we actually believe that these things are working, but there are people in the camp of being like naysayers towards this stuff.
I have an amazing video for you.
Really?
That will maybe help shed light on that.
Okay.
So Nico, why don't you play that last one there?
The idea that a superstitious behaviour doesn't cost them much and maybe does something in some way gives us a sense of control over a situation where maybe there is none. Just look at the main categories of people with superstitions. Sailors, soldiers, gamblers. They all share the fact that there is a lot of risk or chance involved. And the same goes for sport. Obviously, the outcome of a sport comes down to skill, to tactics and methods and teamwork, and to a lifetime of practice and learning. But games or competitions are also unpredictable. Athletes can't look into some crystal ball and look into the future to know how they or their teammates are going to perform. They don't have complete control over the outcome. There are so many factors that can have an impact, and in adventure sports and sports played at top tier levels, it can sometimes come down to the smallest things that will make the difference between winning or losing, or just getting through it safely. And studies have found that when sports have a greater lack of control or have an increased risk to the athlete, or in competitions that hold greater importance, you tend to see more superstitious behaviours show up and gain traction amongst the athletes.
It's up there.
It goes under control. We have something we can control.
Because you cannot control what's happening on game day. Especially in our sport.
Right.
If you're playing football or basketball, it's all based on performance, but ours is it's so subjective that it's out of your control, so it's kind of just like get everything in alignment.
It seems like it's just a thing of also comfort, because the thing is, as athletes, we know, the challenging part for us, honestly, is not so much game day, right? The difference between actually making it to the stage, is to get there.
Right.
And most people don't make it to the Olympia stage or any stage because they don't have the ability to stay focused and to stay consistent for a year or for 16 weeks and to do the same thing in and out. They're all over the place. So for us as a champion of anything, if you make it to the stage, how often do we see people in the gym and they're all over the place and they don't have the ability to do what we see in an athlete that makes it to the stage? It's comforting. Lucinda helps me to get there, and she also helps me after. But the fact of the matter is, it's not so much that I'm trying to control the outcome. Of course, the goal is to win and to be my best. But it's getting there. And that's what people don't understand that mindset with us.
Well, you're controlling behavior patterns leading up to that day. And then the day of, you've kind of done all the work. And I felt this transition from track to, I mean, different for Whitney. Obviously, she does fitness, so that's totally different. You do have to perform. But going from being a track athlete where I would get so nervous because just the idea of like stepping on that line and you don't know if it's going to be like your best time or not. Like there's a lot of stress and pressure to that performing on the day of. But when I transitioned into this sport, I remember having this huge relief off my shoulders because I was like, oh my gosh, like the work is leading up to the show. Yeah. And I can just enjoy myself. So then I did resort to more, I feel like ritualistic things, you know. One thing I do, I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but whatever my number is, I find some reason why that number is a lucky number.
Yeah, always. That's like this is the number I wanted. Yeah,
you're right about that.
I don't know. I manufacture some.
We look for signs of why this is going to be the one.
You are so right about that because we've all experienced that. We've had numbers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of lucky numbers out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's just back to control. Like it's everyone that's around me on show day. Yeah. There is zero negativity. Like I don't care if the makeup artist didn't show up. If I don't have a tan, we're gonna enjoy it.
That's
and like
right.
there's no, if you're negative, I'm like, I can't be around. Like I can't.
Okay, I have a question for you guys.
You're right.
Have any of you had one of those dreams, and I'm sure you have, where it feels so real and you wake up and like they're lining everyone up and you don't have your hair done, your makeup done, you can't find your suit, you're scrambling for your heels and you're trying to like get yourself together and everyone's lined up.
Or what if it actually happened?
So real. I know.
Those dreams are vivid.
But do we normally have those dreams like earlier in the part of preparation? Do you have them like?
I have them
2
now
days
still.
But now I do understand. But like when you're really prepared, like do we have that type of dream the week of?
You tell me, because as 8-time Miss Olympia, should I be not having these dreams?
Yeah, I think I only have those types of dreams when inside, internally, I know that there's something that I'm not quite completely.
Good to know. Interesting. Yeah.
Okay, I'm picking up tips here too, because if I'm having that dream, I'm gonna be like, just like try to shoot away, Wendy. Yeah. What does 8-time Miss Olympia do?
We need Cabbage Patch dolls for sure.
Oh yeah, they will.
Okay.
Well, I experience it in real life, so I don't have dreams. I've had a lot of. If you want to look at something funny, go look at 2020 Olympia and look at the suit I wore on stage. I had 2 different suits on.
Was it the one that said like, was it funky or?
I had a white suit. The bottom didn't fit.
No way.
And I got it the day before, so I had to wear a tan and black bottom with a bright white, totally mismatched, janky. Like,
you won that year?
No, I didn't win. It was the suit's fault. No.
Of course it was.
No, but I looked a little. I mean, I was wearing 2 different suits.
I don't think anyone would notice a suit with you doing all of your amazing moves.
Well, it was the 2-piece.
Okay, we got to B-roll that. We got to B-roll that on that.
It's so funny.
We'll loop that in. But ladies, sadly, we have to end this episode. But audience, if you don't already have an item that you carry with you or some kind of ritual that helps you get through what you're going through to get ready for that big day, you should find one, and maybe you should DM Lenda.
Yeah,
she can tell you how to find your own
listen.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, my baby.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.